Let's turn to the House. We've got New York Democratic Congresswoman Carolyn Maloney. She is the Kudlow Congresswoman, I might add. And we have Texas Republican Congressman Kevin Brady. He's the Vice Chair in the Joint Economic Committee. It's a very interesting point. Ms. Maloney, I'm going to assume you voted against the Boehner bill, but I want to ask you what in the bill particularly caused you to vote against it?
Well, go ahead, Senator. Come on, Senator Kyle's got to get to a vote. Excuse me. Well, I think there were many things that were problematic. There was a lot of political theater. Every time the bill came back, it became more and more partisan. It was particularly objectionable to me because of the uncertainty of just kicking the can down the street for 6 months when we would have to go through these shenanigans again and causing all this uncertainty with the markets. You know that they have fallen over $400 billion since Friday, and my phone is ringing off the hook with residents that are concerned about their interest rates going up on their homes, their cars, their student loans. Also, the balanced budget amendment that they required in order to raise the debt ceiling in their two-step process, which would have required a two-thirds vote, which I don't think they would be able to get. Every time it came back, it became more partisan, appealing to a smaller segment of the American public. And Speaker Boehner walked out on the Biden plan, two of President Obama's plan, even McConnell's plan.
Let me get my friend Kevin Brady in there.
Okay.
Mr. Brady, welcome back. Look,
Hi, Larry.
The issue of the debt ceiling, one step. The issue of the balanced budget amendment is going to come out. The debt ceiling is going to stay in, one step. That's going to be part of the Reid compromise. First, let me ask you, do you believe Speaker Boehner is prepared to compromise with Harry Reid?
You know, I think he already has. I think the cut, cap, and balance, no doubt, Larry, was our top priority going forward. He made some revisions to it, still kept with the principles of it. So he's gone a long way. And I have to tell you, on the House side, look, I know the president's campaign manager doesn't want him to have to deal with the debt crisis he helped create before the next election. But the goal here is to have real spending cuts now, to put controls around future spending, start having an adult conversation about our entitlements, and I think it's better to keep progress going than simply to comply.
I mean, look, I want the entitlement reform and the additional budget cuts, but I agree with Ms. Maloney. I must say, I don't think prolonging the agony and the angst of a two-step debt ceiling tied to a balanced budget amendment will ever pass, not just in my lifetime, but in the next 50 years. It was a symbolic vote, was it not? And basically, it's going to be scrapped. What I want to know is, will you all, leadership, your part of leadership, will you be in a compromising mood for the next, 3-4 days? That's all we've got, Mr. Brady. 3 or 4 days before pandemonium comes out in the financial markets.
For months now, we've begged the president and the Senate to bring a plan forward. We've brought two. I think that's important to remember, and we think there's real consequences to default or downgrade, as you say. So, you know, let the Senate do something it hasn't done, which is act. And I think Speaker Boehner, all of us are very serious about averting this crisis.
Ms. Maloney, you would be able to vote for a Reid compromise. I'm sure you know, Carolyn, GDP came out today, it was dismal. We're on the verge of another recession. Can you offer a thought on how to get us back on a growth path? I'm afraid we only have about 30 seconds. What should we be doing here?
We have to get this behind us. The uncertainty in the markets, it's causing... Would you hire anyone if you didn't know if interest rates were going up or if the debt ceiling wasn't going to be addressed? We need to come together with a compromise, pass it, start on a long-term plan to reduce the debt and the deficit, to invest in economic growth, and get this country moving forward and the American dream moving forward for all of our citizens.
All right.
This is hurting our economy, hurting our people, hurting our standing in the world. We have to make a decision, a compromise, and move forward.
All right. I think I agree with most of that. Anyway, House members Carolyn Maloney and Kevin Brady, that's New York and Texas. Thank you both very, very much.